Here's a fun little story that I had about growing up as a child in Texas. In elementary school, back in the day, they used to have these phone book contests where they would ask you to bring in phone books so you can recycle them. Y'all remember phone books. Those of you who were born after the year 2000 probably don't even know what that is. Anyways, our school would ask to bring in phone books that were old so you can recycle them. It was part of like this whole go green, give back kind of thing. In my school, they would give out prizes according to what grade you were in. And if your grade as a whole donated the most phone books, then you would get the grand prize. Well, the grand prize for my third grade year specifically was for the grade who donated the most phone books would be promised a winter wonderland in South Texas in April. But I was, maybe 8 years old? I didn't know how they were going to pull it off. I just heard I was going to see snow for the first time in my life. We were lucky enough that one kid in our grade had a dad who actually worked for the phone company. So he literally brought in a dump truck full of phone books to put into a dumpster so that we would win the grand prize. And so the day is finally here. We were promised this winter wonderland and we were told, come dressed in winter clothes. Again, this is April in Texas where the temperatures are between the mid 80s to low 90s. But whatever. We brought our jackets, our gloves, our beanies. We were dressed like if it was gonna be sub-0 degrees. As confused as our parents were, all we knew as 8-year-olds is that we were gonna play in snow for the very first time in our lives, which growing up in the Rio Grande Valley, seeing snow was a novelty. Most of us had never seen snow in our lives, including me. They said the playground was going to be covered in snow, and we were going to be able to play for hours and make snow angels, yada, yada, yada. Well, it was a lie. They made us go out by class throughout the day. So you started at 9 a.m., and the last class got to go like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The last class was screwed because obviously the snow would have just melted by then. Snow. Turns out they got the equivalent of what is a snow cone machine and we're just grinding down ice blocks into this little patch of grass and calling that snow. They only gave us about 5 minutes per child to play in the snow. Snow. By the end of the day, the last class just got to play with a couple of frozen chunks of ice and some mud, all while wearing winter gloves, winter coats, and beanies in April in Texas. And that's when I knew the Texas education system just was going downhill.